Hey guys, it's James here with GraveBound. I wanted to take some time to sit down and explain some of the gear that we use to play live. I've got a lot of questions, whether it's at a show or from some fans asking how we actually play live and what's our setup like and what are we using, and I thought I'd take some time to geek out and explain some of that to y'all. So I don't have everything in front of me right now. I have my gear, my setup, our in-ear monitoring setup, my speaker that I use for sound live, and some of the lights that we're going to be using at a show. Just kind of like a sample setup of what we're going to be using for live or what we use for live. And I think that's a good representation of all the gear that we have. So to start off with my setup, I have a Juice Goose power distribution at the top. That is just to power everything within the rack. I have a cord tuner, mainly because the AXFX tuner is not very big, so I can't see it sometimes from afar. And then a wireless for my guitar. Now Kyle and I both went with AXFX's, mainly because of the versatility, also because it's compact, it's reliable. I don't have to worry about a tube going out, on stage or the day before. I don't have to lug around a very heavy and expensive head, or I don't have to lug around a cabinet either, which it makes everything more compact, easy to fit in both of our cars. We're not a touring band, so we don't have a trailer to haul behind our equipment. Or our vehicles with our equipment. So this is definitely the better solution for us in our minds. Also, we can do all of our patch changes via my laptop, which we'll get to in a second, which makes life so much easier. So some of you may be asking, well, if you don't have a cabinet, how do you actually get sound for live or for practice or for anything? How do you hear each other? So of course, when we practice, we use the in-ear monitoring system. So it's kind of awkward if you come downstairs because all you hear is Jared yelling and Johnny playing drums. But it saves our ears, and we don't have to play through any. We don't have to have any live sound to to practice. But when we play like a house party, or if we want to play a venue, we want to bring our QSC speakers, which essentially takes a unpowered signal and then boost it through this powered speaker, so we can hear that live, or whoever's on the front of the stage can hear it live. Or if we don't have a good PA system, we can use these to boost our sound, so you can actually. It replicates like a cabinet. So for an example, I already have it plugged in. Well, there it is. It's not that bad. It's pretty beefy. I do miss some of that oomph that you get from the cabinet, but it essentially is enough for us to play a live show. And once again, it's another small thing that we've added to our list. So all I need is this and this to be able to play a live show. This 6-unit box and this speaker fits a lot easier than my car, than a head and a half stack. So that's, once again, I can't pump it enough. That's the reason why we went with this. So next on the list we have is the in-ear monitoring system. That's here at the bottom. It's a 8-rack box that we use. And to go a little into why we decided to purchase this, honestly, part of it was because we could, and but no, honestly, we love having our own mixes in our ears. We don't want to have to rely on the sound guy to give us that personalized mix in our wedge in front of us, and then that's only on one side of the stage. So we can take this wherever we want wirelessly. We also use this to find and fine-tune those mistakes that we make, whether it's live or whether it's at practice. We can also listen to the click, so we're saying a lot tighter together instead of just reacting to when Johnny's playing the drums. We're anticipating the click, so we're staying on time a lot better, which is great. All right, so here's a little close-up of the in-ear monitoring system. And what this does for us is essentially what's creating our personalized mixes. This allows us to have whatever mix for whatever person at any time in our ears. Above that we have a box splitter. So without going into too depth of detail here, essentially takes in an input, so like my guitar, bass, vocals, kick, drums, synth, whatever, and it'll split that signal for us, so we can take one and go to the X32, and then we can take one and go to the sound guy if need be. And then at the top we have our wireless packs. I went with Shure, everybody else went with Galaxy Audio. There's not that big of a difference besides price. So I would just go with a Galaxy Audio, to be honest. They sound great, all sound great, and this essentially transmits the signal from the X32 to our wireless packs and then into our headphones. So in the back of this box, there's a lot of stuff as well. But the main key points are we have a 30-foot snake that we send to front of house, where we can run in front of house with guitars, bass, synth, whatever. We also have a wireless router in the back, so that connects directly to the X32. And then if you hop on that Wi-Fi, you can control our personal mixes with, in our ears from your phone. So that allows like Jared or Johnny or Kyle to adjust the mix at a show on their phone at a distance. They don't have to come to my laptop and do it if they need to. So what we have here, guys, is my laptop. It's a MacBook Pro, and I call this the brains of the operation. Essentially, it controls everything from our lights to our Axe-Fx preset changes, along with sending tracks to our X32 or to the sound guy for mixing into our live performance. So let's dive into some of these tracks. So at the top here, we have the song. This is essentially an input to the X32 that we can mix into our ears. Same thing with the click. That allows us to, of course, stay on time to keep time with the song. We have bass. So we do not have a bass player, so this allows us to send bass to the sound guy and also mix into our ears if we want to hear it. And then we have production. So as you guys know, we do leverage a lot of synth and 808s or other effects in our songs, and we definitely want to take that with us to a live show. So that enables us to do that here. So for example, during a break, we'll have some type of synth there, and then going into a song, we'll have synth as well. And then when the song's playing, we'll have synth going as well. So next we have the MIDI tracks, one for Kyle and one for myself. This essentially modifies or makes those changes to our patch changes over USB, right, as you can see there. That's connected to the Axe-Fx, and every MIDI change or signal that we send goes to that Axe-Fx. So if we want to go from a rhythm track to lead, because we're playing a lead over a chorus or something, then we make that change here. And we don't have to step on any pedals. It's automagic, and I'll give you guys an example of what that looks like in a second. Lastly, we have at the bottom something that we most recently implemented, and I'll show an example of this as well, but this is essentially programming all the lights that we have in the set. This is so that all the lights are very impactful. We control them ourselves, and they hit at certain times, and they have certain effects, and that's where all this is done. It's over DMX. It's USB connected, but it's over this DMX box that we have here, and then that's connected to the light here. I don't have all the lights in front of me right now, but just wanted to give you guys an example of how that's connected. And I'll show you a little sample of the song playing with the lights going in a second. So I'm going to go ahead and show you an example of the patch changes that Kyle and I have set up. So we're going to be starting the song Phobia right before the chorus, and I should see a patch change to the Octaver channel to play for my lead in this chorus. So I'm going to go ahead and hit play here. And you can see it changed to the Octaver track. When I hit stop, it should probably recall. Yep. And so that's what we use to do our automatic patch changes for live. The last thing we implemented was a light show. Now this is all controlled through the Cubase on my laptop over USB to DMX using this DMX's box, and that's connected directly to the light over a DMX cable. Now the reason why we went with this is essentially because, well, it looks cool as shit. We like to have automated lights at certain parts of the songs and have it doing certain things, and we can pre-program it to do whatever we want. It looks a lot better than static lights on you, or some sound guy trying to figure out between mixing your set what lights to do when and where. So we definitely think this is something that we want to use at every show, and here's an example of what it looks like. So I'm going to go ahead and hit play about halfway through the intro of Phobia, and right when the song kicks in, this light is going to do a bunch of different things, and this is just one example of one of the lights that we control for live. Here we go. As you can see, it's kicked in right when the song came in. So we can make it do essentially whatever we want. We can make it pulse at a certain rate. We can make it fade in, fade out. This is pretty simple. It's one color, but we do have other lights with different colors or radio colors, and we can make them strobe. We can make them flash. We can make them fade in, fade out. Pretty much whatever we want to do with lights, we can do, and it can all be preset and programmed to the set. Thanks guys for watching. If you have any questions, feel free to put them in the comments below or direct message me. I know I wasn't able to go into detail on a lot of the products that we have here, so I'm willing to go into make some more videos on some of the details on how we set some of this stuff up. But yeah, thanks again and stay tuned for more content.